I just met his new girlfriend, Asian girl from Stanford, beautiful, I love her. But he's from Germany, was in the military in Germany and everything. And we became friends in the men's bathroom at a place called Gusto's in Aruba.
My man Danny just brought me back some beers from Germany. I'm sure
My friend, it was good.
Well, he's in National Guard. He's a pilot for National Guard. He bring home all kind of shit.
If you're American when you go in the bathroom, you're American when you come out. What are you while you're in the bathroom?
I'm on international soil, so I'm
European.
Oh, you're okay. Well, I was in P and I was a looking. I'm not giving up my right to go in the men's bathroom.
Yeah, he going to the bathroom. He going sightseeing real quick.
I go in the bathroom with arms wide open.
Arms wide open. Hey, Creed don't get enough credit though.
Love Creed.
Fuck that guy.
Love Creed.
Hey, what's your go-to R&B song?
Go to.
Welcome to this place.
What we doing?
It all depends on what you
doing. I don't know.
Just like it doesn't have to be like a special kid. Just like one that you're like, yo, this is it. This is if you tell me that, if you give me the sticks, bro.
Oh, that's hard.
I'll tell you, it's gonna be weird because I got a couple, but one that just like I probably played this song more than any other song in my life is Tyrese, Sweet Lady.
That's my shit. I think I know every sound to that song.
Every sound, dude. It just like comes on. I'm like, oh man.
What did your Spotify wrap up tell you that you watched all year?
I'm not on Spotify.
I just got.
We're on Spotify.
Yeah, but I don't listen to Spotify. I listen to Apple Music.
I just got it. They want me to pay for it. I'm like, now they sent me like 3 or 4 months free. Then I can, then I might do that. But yeah,
I'm on Apple because we got the family plan, so. Everybody in the family can listen to the shit for like $15 a month, so everybody got it together.
My favorite Tyrese is "Why You Gonna Act?"
That's my shit.
Me now.
How you gonna act like
That's
that?
my jam. I feel like I'm in a relationship. I be calling up Sal like, "Why you acting like that, Sal?" Christine might hang up with him. I'm tired of that. Like, Sal, why you acting like that?
I sing back to him. I be like, "Sweet lady, would you be mine?" I think that's
any other day.
Yeah, that's probably that's a good one.
Cool.
That's a good one.
But don't forget about Drew Hill, though.
Dude, you know what? It's
I
funny
made
you
my
bring
son
that
listen to Drew Hill all day.
It's funny you bring that
That
up.
and Jagged Edge. I made him listen to that on the way to school the other day.
Because back in the day, like they used to clown Drew Hill. They used to be like they corny and shit. I'm like, go back and listen to Drew Hill now.
Oh, there's a shit.
Take a time and talk.
We were
You know what? I was a huge Cisco fan back in the day.
yeah.
So like,
Unleash the Dragon.
which I love
Unleash
Drew
the
Hill.
Dragon.
Yeah,
That song alone, the album was good, but that song, Unleash the Dragon, was hard.
Without you, girl, my life is incomplete.
Dude, go back and listen to what's the joint? He said it was like a BG, the name of a BG song. What was the name of the BG song they used to play?
Well, you get down.
No, not that one. The other one.
That's the only BG song I know.
I sound stupid, dude.
Oh, I know the one with Celine Dion. Immortality.
No, man, damn it. I'll think about it later on. But yeah, they sing it. It's the name of a BG song. It's they don't
BG the rapper or BG
no,
the
BG's the disco people. The disco people. The BGs.
Yeah,
It's their name.
Okay.
God damn it. I gotta look it up. Y'all keep
I
talking.
like and you ain't gonna like this because you're a fucking hater, but I love So Anxious. That's my shit
Oh,
too.
yeah. Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Genuine?
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
How deep is your love? That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
How deep is
How deep is your love?
But no, the way they sing it is dope. It's like, how deep is your love for me?
Yeah.
Tell me when you're gonna.
Oh, the remix was
that's
so
what
good with Ja
saying.
Rule.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude. That joint, because he comes in
Hey.
on that. Vinaquil, no mami,
Yeah.
Puerto Rican, la silla.
Yeah.
The way you wiggle it, the way you
I'm telling you, Jagged Edge has some hits
Jagged
too.
Edge has
bro.
some hits for sure. That
Maybe
fucking
I
promise.
promise
That was
I was just about to say
that I'll stay true.
Why will we let this thing go?
Sal, I promise.
Hey man, you gotta stop this shit.
It's the Isley Brothers.
Ooh.
So contagious. Yeah.
Can we say R. Kelly on it?
Didn't R. Kelly write that shit?
He wrote, right? R. Kelly writes every damn thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing
He
about
wrote
it.
a lot of that shit.
Yeah, he wrote a lot.
I remember
of
when
things.
I was watching the Surviving R. Kelly bullshit series thing or whatever it was.
Why you call it bullshit?
Because now they're saying that it's all bullshit.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I was watching that series and they were like, I don't think the world understands now how big I Believe I Can Fly was. Like that song was tremendous.
We sung it at graduation.
It was at graduation. It was at churches. It was at major events. It was like it was a international
But that's just like saying
song.
people don't realize how big the Cosby was.
Bill Cosby was the shit.
Yeah.
That's
but
why
it's
his Fall
like
from
things
Grace was
that
so,
happen
so
in life,
tremendous.
but things that we do in life. That's just like I can be like the greatest gay friend and this and this and that, but if it comes out that I'm molesting little kids out here, you know, that kind of takes away from everything. You know,
How good of a singer are you? It matters. How good of a singer are you? How many songs of Michael Jackson's did you write?
Well, to my credit, there's other things I do really good.
Yeah.
You know, people put me on pedestal.
Yeah.
So, but you know, that's why we have to be careful the way we walk and the things that we do because
For sure.
you know, like
For sure.
it's just,
I mean, I think that's what for a lot of people muddies up MJ's legacy, you know, Michael Jackson's legacy, and not that he was ever convicted, but just all them rumors swirling around him, and like it's tough because I think that a lot of people do like for instance, my granny. That's why, because we were talking about Elvis and shit. That's why she don't fuck with Michael Jackson, because she's obviously Fox News, like she believes all the shit they said about Michael Jackson, whereas we're younger and we're like, yo, they were trying to fuck it. He was trying to speak
this
out
man
against
had
the
2 or
industry.
3 trials and everything.
Yeah, like
you know?
he's fucking innocent, but some
Granted-
people don't believe that shit.
I look at it like this. You know, I'm a man. You know, no matter what all that other bullcrap I do and whatever, I'm still a man, and we have to be careful with allegations.
Yeah.
So we can't take away somebody's livelihood. And I tell my homegirls this all the time because they're like, oh, well, it got to be true. I'm like, hold on now, because you got sons. And as soon as somebody say this about your son, you're going to want me to back you. So you have to think about it. You know, I've been in a situation where I've accused somebody of raping me. And, you know, people did not believe me at all.
Yeah.
Even the judge was like, well, bring the stepdaughter up. And they were like, no, it's the stepson. And I heard the whole courtroom like, and I heard the judge be like, what? But at the end of the day, I won my trial.
Yeah.
You know? But if I would have lost that trial, even though that would have been my truth and he really so hard he did it to me, you know, I have to, you know, there's, you know, perception in public and then the courtroom.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a lot of things that we don't see play out in the courtroom. Like, it's other things that they don't show, like, within the public.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're a lot of people are guilty in the court of public opinion, but then, you know, that's why, like for instance, Casey Anthony, that trial, it was fucking huge, and then she ended up getting off, and it was like, and I to this day, I still kind of think she definitely had something to do with that shit. Like, you don't just fucking go party.
It's just about being a parent. If she's guilty or not, she's guilty of being a fucked up parent.
A fucked up parent.
A fucked up parent.
But like I said, motherfuckers was like, this bitch did it, killed a bitch, fucking hang her at the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit. And then it comes out like, oh, well, she didn't get convicted. And then, like, it's a lot to do with the media.
Oh, yeah, the media.
But,
bro.
The
She
media.
did that shit. She did that shit.
Yeah, but
so did OJ.
I don't know.
And so did OJ. I want to go back. I want to go back to what he said about
Well, it's
like
fucked up that how like we trust the justice system
to a certain degree.
when it's convenient. You know what
degree,
I'm saying? You're like, oh, they locked that bitch up. Good. Oh, they locked fucking Young Thug up. He didn't do that shit. He didn't order all these motherfuckers to get hit.
I didn't subscribe to none of that shit. But I want to go back to the allegations things about like how you said about men, about how easily that can just all it takes is one person just saying he did. So as a man, like, so I have a daughter, right?
Yeah.
She's 13, and she has her little friends that come to the house and shit. I make sure at all costs, I am never, ever, ever in a situation where I am alone with. It could be in the kitchen. Yeah. It could be anywhere in not even in my home. Yeah. Anywhere in life, I make sure that I am never alone with any little girl. Not because I'm like some sex rave addict that I'm gonna just fucking take. No, it's nothing. It's the complete opposite of that. Yeah. It's because like I don't ever want anybody in their life to ever say that there was a situation where it could have happened, where potentially it could have happened. Yeah. Because for any reason, all it takes is somebody, a girl, a boy, to say he did this to me, and
you see that, man, like we were just talking about Michael Jackson. Like, you see that if the world skews their perception of you, It's like, you know what I mean? You
Public
can tell
opinion, man.
You can tell 1,000 truths, but that one lie gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you don't want that perception. But like you were saying, like I definitely want to touch on that because you were saying like, well, hold up now, like, you know, like if one of your sons or whatever, but I think that we gotta also be as men, because you and I, like, we've been in a lot of situations where as soon as a girl's like, oh, I got raped, and you're like, man, fuck that bitch. Like, you was begging for that dick and this and that. And like, I think that in the culture of like bravado and men and shit, it's like, if she was like dancing on you in the club and you were buying her drinks and she was kissing on your neck and doing all these things, like, when they leave the club, you and I are gonna look at it like, oh yeah, there's no way she got raped. But
she was ready.
But in the real, what really happens is like, you can say no. Like, I don't care if we're naked and I'm on top of you. If you say no, or stop, we can be having sex. If you say stop, I gotta stop. Anything past that's rape. And I think a lot of men don't look at it that way. It's like, man, I fucking bought this bitch drinks and fucking she was making out with me and like, you know what I'm saying?
That
I
is
bought her
such
dinner
a
and
weird
did all this.
mentality to have.
Yeah.
Dude, man.
It is,
I
but
buy
that's
you
why I
drinks,
want
like,
to
so
she
say, like,
owes me.
Yeah,
kind
I buy
of
you.
shit?
I buy
Like,
you drinks, so I mean, I can grab your titty in the ass, or you know, you about to suck my dick. Yeah, it's just weird. But to piggyback off of what you said, but you don't want to be alone. I used to be like that with my homegirls and their sons. I remember one of my homegirls was like, "Hey, can you go wash him?" Whatever. I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Hell no.
And she was like, "Why not?" She was like, because she's like, I don't think like that. I'm like, well,
you don't.
I was like, his father hates me. His father hates me.
Yeah.
You know, like I have to protect myself at all costs.
Yeah.
Even around if I'm with a little girl, like your little girl. You know, as I still think like a man. Like, I have to make sure that, you know, I remember I was at Lola's. Shout out to Lola's in Park Circle, my homeboy restaurant, and this girl was really, really drunk. And I had to take her home. I didn't know it. That was my first time. She was a regular, so they were talking to her. My homeboy like, yeah, she's a regular, really drunk, whatever. So she like, can you take me home? As a gay male, I recorded myself from the time that I leave that restaurant to the time I dropped her off and got home. Gay male. Then I stopped it. And I hold on to this video for so long just in case she said that I did something to her.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not that gay that I don't realize that I'm a man first. But I was protecting myself because I never had a pussy a day in my life. The only pussy I ever taste is when I was 0 years old coming out my mom's vagina. That's the only pussy I ever had. You know, but still, you know, I'm doing whatever it takes to protect myself in society. Because granted, a lot of these situations do happen, but then you also have the situations where it doesn't happen. The same way you got a lot of people in jail, rightfully so, but you got a lot of people in jail who are innocent.
Wrongfully
so you have to protect yourself.
Those stories break my heart.
Costs. That's
when you hear about those stories about dudes doing like 16, 18 years of
and they want to give them like then they got to fight the state and the government for $1 million or so.
Stupid,
like,
dude.
Yeah,
you got to think about my mentality, my freedom.
Have they convicted or have they put any of these women in jail that do that shit yet? Has that been
that lie?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know, but I think they get. Of course, they get the backlash of it all. But I've never heard a situation where they go to jail. But I'm rightfully so. I think if they find that like a false police report, you do go to jail for that, and you know, stuff like that.
They should, man.
Which is rightfully so.
Need to be in the electric chair.
What's tough about it is, and the reason that they don't go gung ho on it is because it's extremely hard to get a rape victim to come forward.
That's right. That's a fine needle to thread.
And if you start prosecuting women that lie or men that lie about being raped,
they won't come forward.
Then they're even more scared to come forward, because then all you have to do is prove in the court that I'm lying, even if it's true. But you got a better lawyer than me. Like, I'm a prostitute, and you're a fucking lawyer, and you raped me. You've got way better resources than me. If you prove I'm lying, even though I'm not. Now I'm wrongfully convicted of lying, and that's why I think it's like it's a slippery slope. Like, I agree with y'all. Like, women or men that lie about things like that should be prosecuted, but you have to be careful, because then it turns into like,
careful about what? If you lie, you lie.
Right, but you have to be careful about if somebody that's not lying gets charged and convicted of lying.
Well, that's why
I'm
that
saying?
goes back to what I said.
It's
I
like,
never
I
put
say,
myself
yo,
in that position.
Like your situation, you're like, hey, he raped me, and if you could have lost that case and been prosecuted and went to jail, even though you're not lying, but he proved you were lying by falsifying documents or evidence or getting people to get against you.
Then you get screwed twice.
I went to the police station practically naked.
No pun intended.
I was naked when I rode to the police station. I ran out the house practically naked, drove to the police station, and they came to me. And it's so crazy because people don't realize when you accuse somebody of raping you, they take you down to MUSC and you go down to like the dungeon. When I mean lights are like clicking on and off. And you go in these rooms and you have all these people and they strip you naked and they take tape and they start to pluck. They went in my butthole, my penis area. They swabbed my whole body. My whole body. Just to see if any of his DNA was on me, a hair particle or anything.
They got to find something.
They're very thorough about it.
Yeah.
So, I was like, I remember stressing myself out trying to explain to my family and friends, well, not my friends believe me, but family and other people, especially his family, like, why would he want, he married to a woman because people still think like that. He's married to a woman.
Yeah, I remember you put me on game with that.
Yeah, and I was like,
we had an argument about
he
Jeff
was married
Gordon.
to a woman, but he did serve 15, 20 years in jail for armed robbery. My mom married this man in jail. And like when the judge and he kept on saying, like, him and his attorney kept on saying, well, it wasn't true. And I told her, I was like, the sad thing about it, and I told his attorney that, I said, the sad thing in court, the sad thing about it is that you're telling me that I'm lying, and I'm telling you that somebody tried to rape me, and you're telling me that I'm lying, and you wasn't even there. And I told her that. It's like, you wasn't even there. And that's the sad thing about it. She was just, excuse my language, just some, looked like a attorney he pulled off walking down the street of Spruce. She was a nothing. And I understand she was doing her job, but she was nothing. Yeah. And I think the thing that got him is when I told my story, I always tell people when you go into the court of law, the only thing the judge can see is what you have on record.
That's right.
He has all this armed robbery, all these charges. Mine was clean. Never been in jail, never been nothing. I never got in trouble. So when I started talking, I was like, when my mom married him, we gave up a life in New Jersey where we're like upper middle class and like one of the only blacks in my school, living like the same road the beach is on and everything. We gave all that up for him. But when he came out of jail, when I talk about this man was rehabilitated, I mean, he went to church. We sat down and ate like a family almost every night. Like, it's everything that I wanted. He didn't curse. He made my mom understand that it was time to accept who I was. He was everything that you wanted a father to be. But I didn't know he started going out. He started drinking on the low because he never drank. He started using heroin, this and this and that. So I went from the stepson that he rallied around or whatever to now he started to probably look at me like, like somebody he wanted to be with. Like, long story short, whatever happened. And it was like trying to convince these people that a man tried to rape me.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
And I remember one thing I told the judge. I was like, I don't care what my lifestyle is. I get to pick and choose who I want to have sex with.
Yeah.
And I've never been the one that I lead a guy on. If I leave I was in my 30s, upper 30s when I ever left a bar with a guy. I've never left the club. I was never that chick that leave a club with a guy, whatever. Because I already had my little daddies on the side.
My little daddies.
I already had my little daddies on the side. So it was just like I pick and choose who I want to be with.
Yeah.
But then how less of me that he thought that he could sleep with me knowing that you're my mother's husband.
Well, yeah, I think
you're
that's
married to my
dude,
mother.
that's just a predator mentality,
but no, how less of me
right
to think that I would sleep with you. And to me, I'm outside to tell you about, I don't care what you do. Please do not disrespect me. I'm not going to my biggest turn off of respect. And I get on him all the time. And he's have to check me like, you ain't my side hoe. Like, I'm like, it's all, but you go show me, like I tell him, like, come down and greet me at the door. You know? Show me respect. You know what I'm saying? So respect is a big thing for me. So for him to even look at me like that was the biggest turn off, because that means you do not respect me.
Yeah.
I don't care what my situation with my mom. She's still my fucking mama. I'm not going to deal with you, dude. Long story short, they asked him to take a lie detector test. He refused. What real man? That's the easier. I know Sal. If a gay dude say, Sal try to rape me, for being in that position, I'm going to rally around my friend on the low. But as soon as I find out, I'm not going to be like, oh, that person lying, but I'm going to still rally, show my friend support on the low. Be there for him. If they're like, Sal, you need to take a lie detector test to prove it innocent. And if he said, no, I don't want to do that, then I'm going to be like, well, hold on.
Fuck that.
Why the fuck
line him
he
up.
refused to take a lie detector
Line
test.
him
So
up.
that even his family was like, oh, we know he was guilty after that. Woman, any female can say Terrell tried to rape them or I had sex with them. The first thing I'm going to do is say, take a lie detector test. I know I never had.
You know what I said? I said one time, that's a shame. You know what I always said?
No, but I heard it's good. You know, in the barbershop, they say it's really good.
Please believe
me. They
me.
say, well, my
me.
spiritual dad, Terry, that had the
wars
party.
have been fought over it.
Wars. He said people are in jail or 6 feet under. I heard it's good, though. Yeah, I heard it's good.
You try to take mine, we'll have a war. You know what I'm saying? I said, somebody try to take mine that's downstairs.
I heard it's
the best thing.
You know that other thing good too now.
Yeah, I don't know.
That thing that had me driving miles.
I'll take your word for it.
That thing stand up.
But I think it's super commendable too. Like I think it's what I take from your story is that you actually stood up for yourself and for others, because you might have been, you could have been the first, but you wouldn't have been the last if you wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, like did what you did. And,
I ain't gonna let nobody play with me. Like
but I think a lot of women or men or whoever are terrified to actually take that
they think
step.
the person is like way bigger and popular and like
nobody's gonna. That's why he tried you like that, because he's like, nobody's gonna believe this motherfucker. Like I'll go to church. I'm with his mom. Like
who's gonna believe you?
That's why he thought he could do that. And
There
that's probably why you feel so disrespected at the same time.
But it's because now in society you see people coming back. Oh, it's 2023, but he did it in 91 or 81 or 71 or 61. See, when he started approaching me, it was more like, like he walked in front of me naked, and I felt super, super uncomfortable. Oof. But my brothers have peed in front of me. Like my dad has been naked in front of me, and I know he'd been in the military, so I asked my spiritual father, and he was like, well, that's how men do, like.
No, they don't.
Well, that's what he was just saying.
Maybe
like,
that generation.
But so he was like, well, maybe you don't think too much about it. Then he asked me, can you put some alcohol on my back one day? And I did it, because he had stuff on his back. And then I remember he started getting bolder and bolder with it.
Let me tell you something, dude. The first time that I seen an adult naked male was at a church camp.
How old?
I was probably 13.
Oh, no.
12, 13.
Yeah.
We went to this camp, right? We was in North Carolina. We was with these church folks, and we all went on this. Little hike joint, man. And this isn't me reliving trauma. It was just fucking weird, right? We all went on this hike where we walked through this stream. We went to this waterfall. When we all got back, everybody was dirty, so everybody had to take a shower. Well, the adult men at this church camp, it was male on one side, female on the other side. These dudes just got naked and jumped into the shower. Yeah. And I was like, nah, hell no.
Nah, hell no.
Nah, hell no. That ain't right, dude.
Granted,
I ain't with that
if
shit.
It's your brother, uncle,
this was
cousins,
a stranger.
Or father, well, see, that's different around kids. I would feel
my family, my dad was big on that shit. And I really think he instilled that to me, because we was talking about my daughter and her friends and all that shit. Yeah. To this day, even with my friend, they both have young daughters. Even with little girls, I'm like, no. You don't even get one time Michael's daughter they were outside on a slip and slide or some shit. We was here. And she was cold. And she came up to me, she's like, I'm so cold, so you have to dry off. And I grabbed her and I started patting her arms around. I was like, that's all you get. I can't do anything else with that. You have to go to your mom. Yeah. I just don't do that.
No,
My dad was the same way
with my niece. Like my niece, like with my my brother or my sister-in-law would be like, "Hey, can you watch Lauren today?" You know what I'm saying? And she probably like she was still in diapers, and I was like,
that's rough.
And she was like, "You gotta watch her, just for like 2-3 hours." And I was like, "What?"
Take her out before you bring her here.
I told her, I was like, change her, and have her ready because I'm like, I ain't. If it's a pee diaper, I'll change her because it's just like, drop the diaper, like you ain't really got to do a whole lot. But if it's poop and all that, like I ain't.
Especially a girl,
that's too much.
That's
too much for me. You know what I'm saying?
With my niece, I
had to change one of my nieces one time, and it's like traumatic for me.
Me too. Me and my brother. Shout out to Skrilla T. Ty. We botched my niece Tanaya.
Put that shit on all back. Had her arm out the leg.
He had her lift up like that, and I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out like, you can't wipe this way. You got to wipe. And then we both did it together. I'm like,
get a UTI.
I can't do it.
There was a certain age where I was like, I told my wife, I was like, come on, I have a daughter, and when it's your daughter, it's different. You know, you take care of business. But there was a certain age where I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Like I'm done with this is she's not a baby anymore. Yeah. Now it has to be you.
Yeah.
Like even giving her baths or anything, I was like, baby, I need you, even if you're not here, you gotta like train her at 1.5 years old. She's gotta do it herself because like I said, not that I'm some ravenous sex addict. No, it just makes me
uncomfortable.
And it's the same thing with little boys. Like we all had young sons at one point. Yeah. I don't let little boys sit in my lap. I don't let little girls sit in my lap. I just don't do that shit. Yeah. And I hate that, like, because my nieces, I love the shit out of my nieces, and they want to play with me and they sit on my lap and shit. I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but I don't want to seem like the weird uncle. You know what I'm saying? But just let's just not make this
everybody
weird.
in the family got that. Don't leave him at that house. Don't leave him at his house. Don't leave him at Johnny's house. Go get them kids.
Go get them kids. Go get them kids.
Go get them kids.
Well, I think that's something that we should hopefully will start to wean out, because that's one thing you notice is like, there's that motherfucker in the family that everybody, because their family kind of protects. You know what I'm saying? And rather than like sitting the motherfucker down and being like, listen, dude, if I ever catch you, we gonna fucking kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like instead they're like, oh, you're not allowed to be alone with Uncle Timmy, Uncle Jimmy, or whatever, whoever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
That's like, just like even with the Catholic Church, where the priests,
that shit.
They know that these guys do this stuff to these boys. Yeah. And they, instead of convicting them, they send them to another state, to another church. Mm-hmm. It is like
another parish or whatever. Diocese.
But their whole thing, they're so concerned about abortion that they allow these little boys to be raped, sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And as a kid that went through that, like, how dare you speak the word of God to me and tell me that I should do this and tell me I shouldn't have an abortion, but you allow these boys who become men and still trauma to this day, who go back and kill the priest or do whatever or become criminals or alcoholics or whatever because what have been done, that should stay with you.
You ever seen that movie, was it Sleepers?
No.
You never seen Sleepers?
Yeah.
It's got like Kevin Bacon. It's got
I need to look. What is it about?
I'll break it down for you. It's about these 4 boys. They're from Manhattan, New York, and they're back in probably like the 60s, 70s. But they're wild little boys. They're just mischievous little boys, and they get in some trouble, and they have to go to one of these all boys homes. All 4 of them have to go together, and they go to this joint. And Kevin Bacon and like 3 other guards are like the guards at this joint. And they sexually molest and they rape and they do all this weird shit to these boys, right? When they're young. I'm talking like 11 to 13 years old. They're little boys, right? And it kind of goes in what you're saying. Is like, it fucks these people up for the rest of their lives. And the whole movie is about like when they grow up, they become criminals, they become murderers and all this. Well, they all go back and they start finding these guards one by one and killing them. Yeah. And then the movie turns into like getting them off legally, like getting them out of trouble and shit. But it just goes to show, like, it's a hard movie to watch. I'll be honest with you. It's a hard. Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. It's a hard movie.
It's called Sleepers.
It's called Sleepers. It's a hard movie to watch. It's a good movie, but it's hard to watch.
Yeah, it's in order for me to get where I'm at in life, I had a therapist, a psychologist, and a psychiatrist. Like, I did the work. Yeah, I was like, things in my life that my childhood was very black.
Time out. Let me pause you real quick, because it's weird that you bring that up, because like when people meet you, right? Like, I've known you for a long time. What have I known you? Fucking 15?
2011.
So, okay, 10, 12 years. Right. When people meet you...
Granted, when he met me, I was like 27 or something like that. He thought I was 19.
Yeah, well, black don't crack.
Well, if you do crack it, well,
whatever. But anyways, it's funny when people meet you, like you're such a like outgoing spirit and just like this, like just like such a ball of positivity, and they really like because you and I've had pretty deep conversations, and it's weird to know that like you've gone through such not just with like your situation with your stepdad, but just like a bunch of different situations in life, and like you've still managed to stay like grounded and just.
I'm like positive. Jesus Christ. I've been through it all.
It's wild, dude.
I've been, it
goes to show like what you said, really putting in the work does, man.
From poverty to, like parents on drugs, molestation, rape, like everything. But then, as I was a little boy that was always a dreamer. So I was always a dreamer. Like when I become an adult and get out of this situation, I remember one of the funniest things, I used to always get upset because we would run out of soda or Kool-Aid. I was like, my first thing, when I become an adult, I ain't gonna never run out of drinks. I always have Kool-Aid or soda or juices. Now I live on my own. Now my refrigerator is stocked with water, juices, different type of juices, tea, Angry Orchard, everything. And it blows my mind. I was in Walmart last night and I'm buying all these drinks. I'm like, Terrell, why are you buying all these drinks? And it's still from my childhood where I felt that I didn't really
want that comfort of knowing
but then my child was blacker than you, hoodie. It was very dark and black. Mm-hmm. Wow. And I told myself, no matter what, when I become an adult, the first thing that I'm gonna make sure that I do is I'm in control of my life, my own situation. I'm gonna make sure that I'm happy.
Right.
I would say, and I'm not perfect, but I would say 90% of the time, I am just like joyful, happy, loving life.
I've said that on this podcast quite a few times because I've had some people. I've had quite a few people on here. We've had, but. That have been through a lot of trauma, and they're some of the most joyous people. Yeah. And I think like it really is like you have to know what the rain is like to understand how fucking great sunshine is. You know what I'm saying? But me and you also back to that place. No, and me and him, like you came up on the pod before, and I was saying like because you've talked about like poverty, molestation, all that, but even aside from that, like I was telling Sal, like as you call Aunt, I was telling Aunt that you're black male and you're gay, right? So you've like some people have discrimination for being black. Some people have discrimination for being gay. you was like, let's square root. You're
a real minority.
Let's and then,
minority squared.
I'm a circus act.
Well, that's what I was saying. When it's like he's had that shit like 2, 3, 4, 10-fold of people discriminating. You know what I'm saying? Like he could just walk into a store and like they might not know you're gay, but they don't like you because you're black. Yeah. And then they find out you're gay, or you walk into somewhere and they know you're gay and they're like, oh, we don't like him because he's gay. And he's black.
I've been in the mall one time back in the early 2000s, and I was shopping, and this guy was like, "Fuck you, you fucking faggot," this and that, and everybody just looking. I'm like, who the hell is this man talking to? Why he going off on somebody like that? It was me. I didn't know this man from Adam's Cat. I didn't know who this guy was. He was like, "This Charleston, we'll fucking kill you, you fucking faggot, whatever." Now, thank God for his homeboy. His homeboy was holding him back, pushing, "Man, what the F you doing? You wrong with it." His homeboy actually came up to me and apologized. And I respect that. But then in the black community, it's acceptable. They will...
That's kind of what I was meaning.
The way that they act towards gay people.
Yeah.
Like the discrimination and the hate. Like they scream police brutality, but they do it to their own people because of my lifestyle. Yeah. But then you want us to march for you, and protect you because, like someone said, the police ain't killing people like me. I don't have issues with the police. But then I still can stand up and be like, what's right for my brothers and, things of that nature. But he was very disrespectful towards me. And I kind of laugh at him because I was about to fight this kid in my Algebra 2 class. And when I stood up and fight him, my brother's friend stood up and fight him too. So he was like, "Oh, you can help him?" He's like, "Dad, yeah, that's my..." And I'm the youngest out of 6 boys. They're like, "Hell yeah, I'm going to help them. That's my homeboy brother. Terrell don't fuck with nobody. His lifestyle is
right. Yeah.
And my teacher pulled me out the class. And one thing she taught me, and You know, hopefully the world can hate us. You know, every gay guy or female or anybody who feel that they're different, who just living their life. I'm not asking for someone to accept me. Just respect me. If you fuck with me, fuck with me.
That's
if
a
you
good
don't
statement.
fuck with me, stay the fuck away
That's
from
a
me.
good statement.
You know, all I'm doing is ask for your respect or just leave me alone. I pay my taxes. I'm not out there stealing.
You don't break
I don't break the law. I'm not doing anything. You know?
I do.
So
I remember when I was a kid, a young kid, kids ain't shit. Can we all agree to that? Kids ain't shit.
Yeah.
When
kids are just honest.
Well, no, kids ain't shit. When I was a kid and I was a young kid, when I was like probably like early middle school days, maybe
A lot of
fifth,
times they're extensions of their environment.
well,
so
yeah, fifth, sixth grade, like I was on that like anti-gay shit, right? And there was this one particular fella, I won't say his name, but like there was this one particular fella that at one point we had a class together, and I said some mean shit to him, right? And it wasn't me. Like as soon as the words came out my mouth, I was like, that ain't me. But I had to stand on it because I said it, right? So we get to high school. And I've known this kid a long time. Grown man. He's a nice dude. So we're in probably 9th, 10th grade. And he came out as being gay. Like, everybody knew he was gay. Like, you could just, you know. But everybody knew he was gay, but nobody really said nothing. He was a cheerleader. He had, like, all the girlfriends and shit. Like, he was in the girls. He was gay. But when we was in high school, I ain't talked to this dude in probably 2 years. And we had a class together, and these girls that were next to me that I was friends with started talking to him. Hey, what's such and such? What's your name? This and that, and this and that, and that. Heard you got a boyfriend now. And at this time, he didn't come out, and he was just like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, I'm my boyfriend and shit. He showed me his boyfriend, and I'm sitting there, I'm talking to the girls and shit. So they started. I'm like, oh, cool, nice looking guy, whatever the fuck. Wasn't saying shit, but then there was this dude behind us, this little redhead dude. It's always the gingers. This little redhead dude.
I never went wrong with a ginger.
Fucking,
I love ginger.
He stuck his head in our conversation. He's like, dude, you're fucking gay. You're fucking this. You're going to hell. You're like, he just starts going off, dude. And I was like, yo. Like, I didn't say some mean shit to this dude, but that's fucked up. And it was like, I remember that day. Because what I remember about it is like how joyous he was talking about his new little love and all that shit. But as soon as that dude started talking that shit, like his whole demeanor was just like, here we go again with this shit. Like, god damn, like, I gotta deal with shit again. I was like, man, that's fucked up, yo. Because and at that point, it was like, A, I didn't like the fact that he was just being bullied. Because I don't get down with that shit at all. And the other part of it was like, because he likes dudes. Like, these motherfuckers in this world don't like mustard. Should we hang them at the same? Like,
well,
what the fuck is the problem?
You know what I don't like about it. This is what I don't like about it. Is like, for instance, like I got not a similar story, but there's a girl, you know, that we grew up with, you know, and they had like this name for her, right? Because she was gay from elementary school. She always wanted to be with the boys, tomboy, all that shit. And she since transitioned. So from here on out, I'll call her he, because that's what he prefers to be called, right? He, growing up, was fucked with the whole time. And now, like, we're still friends on social media and always fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm being real, I think in a way subconsciously kind of wanted to be me because I was popular. You know what I'm saying? When they transitioned, like got the haircut as me, the tattoos as me. Yeah, I'm not saying like I'm the reason that they or the image they wanted. They moved out to Seattle and like got away from this fucking Bible Belt town or whatever. But what pisses me off about what you're talking about is that now he hates Charleston, hates the South, hates everything that he came from. You know what I'm saying? Because of motherfuckers like that. Yeah. When we could have like and we could have like supported him, supported that, supported like you don't have to, like he said, y'all, I don't have to accept it and be like, yo, like fucking I think that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, we don't have to hold this man on our shoulders.
But
or this chick on our shoulders.
Like I hate when people like what Jay say, like what I eat don't make you shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, or what you eat don't make me shit. Like it doesn't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still eating, I'm still good. Like you're not. As long as you're not fucking with me or mine or my family, like we cool. And this person was such a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like just because she was different, that we have to like constantly like literally every single day have to come to school and be fucking just ostracized
That has to be
and
the
treated
wackest
just shitty.
thing. Well, you can probably
like,
speak on
like
this,
every
right?
day. You know what I'm saying?
It
And that's
has
what
to
I was
suck,
saying.
dude.
Like when we were talking about like you having like multiple levels of discrimination against you is because like I feel like being gay or trans is even harder than being black. You know what I'm saying? Like at least like
Speak on it.
because like he said, or you know, like he's saying like black people a lot of times, especially in the South, don't fuck with gay people. You know what I'm saying? They don't like that shit. It's way worse than like white people accept you way faster because of the church aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Like in the South, it's like the church down here is real.
I always say black people have their own version of the Bible, where it's certain sins that they're gonna accept and certain sins.
Yeah, you're right. But it's everybody.
Let me ask you a question.
Everybody.
I mean, it's obviously doesn't feel good to be ostracized and shunned like that. Do you ever get that feeling when people like try to like go extra for you? Does that question make sense?
No, it does.
Make sure that they do a little extra to show you that
you're
they
right,
support
because I was earlier.
I would say
gonna...
white girls do that.
Oh, okay.
I think one thing I love about one thing about especially with white boys. You know, I've been working at AC's now for 3 years down on King Street, AC's Bar and Grill, and I've met a lot of white guys, like young white guys in college and fresh out of college, who are just want to hear my story. And, you know, because when they meet me, they think I'm like upper class or I came from this and this and that. And when I tell them that story, they're like, but you're the coolest. Like, I would have never. I would say white girls are very more like, so I have to tell them, calm down.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Like we were talking about before the pod.
Yeah. You don't have to, blase. So it's like with them, you see that they try to overdo it. Trying to show you that I accept you, whatever. And, I appreciate their love and accept, because I'm telling you, when white people start talking, people start listening. So
yeah.
I was on the plane.
I'm not black, but I'm me. Yeah. And I've had, and I don't want to like minimize your plight or like act like I can identify with it. Yeah. But I've had situations similar where I've had to tell people like, because motherfuckers are treating me poorly, or they're acting like I'm gonna do something. You know what I'm saying?
We all have our own story,
right? And people like have to step it, like they feel like they should step in for me and be like, you don't know this guy. Like, this guy wouldn't steal shit from you. He's the best motherfucker in this place. Like he would fucking give you the shirt off his. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, and I tell them like, you don't have to do that. Like I'm used to this shit. Like when I go into Mount Pleasant, motherfuckers look at me sideways, and I'm like, y'all have money, but you have no merit. You know what I'm saying?
They're not cultured.
Yeah, they're not cultured. They don't understand that shit. And
they ain't gonna never experience the real good fried chicken, the collard greens. And because they're gonna always want casserole because they're not cultured.
Yeah,
they're ignorant. They're not, and I feel sorry for people like that. Get your ass out there and get you some black friends. Get you some dirty ass white boy friends. Get you some people that are not like you. I hang around white boys. I hang around white boys that are, when people say 360, what's 4 times 360 than I am?
Yeah.
And I have learned from them, and they have learned. I'm telling you, my homegirl, Cornbread, is the best thing walking when it comes to my white friends. My other homegirl, Banana Pudding, is the best thing walking. Yeah. I took them to certain black people restaurants, and white people like, I never had fried chicken like that. Get you around, instead of looking at people, I'm like, I would never talk to him. Get you around people that are so different from you. You can't understand why that you're.
But like 2 weeks from now, my homeboy Will, which is one of my best friends, you know what I'm saying? He moved out to black dude. He moved out to. I
thought that was your only black friend.
No,
it's another one. Oh, okay. After this show is over. Oh no, you've used me for how many years now?
Well, I will say, like, you're one of the closest.
I'm gonna send you an invoice.
I have a lot of black acquaintances that I would call friends, but Will is like, he's like Anthony to me. Like he's my brother. But him and I, like, coming up, we always like. He would come to church with me and like come to the all white church. I go to the all black church. I go to his cookouts. He come to my cookouts, and like we made it a point to like, I want to be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though I'm usually not,
Yeah.
like, I like being uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
like going, and I like making.
That's how you experience things.
I like
Bro.
making other motherfuckers uncomfortable.
What?
I love showing
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
like when we
Y'all's
come to your
party,
when we come to your
dog.
daddy
Oh my
party. You know
God.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like we
Shout
show up
out
there,
to
like
the
we
Grants.
the only two white people there.
Dude,
And
we tell
and
that
I can
story
tell-
all the time, dude.
Bro,
We tell
I
it
can
all the
tell
time,
there's
dude.
people that we ain't uncomfortable because we know we with you. You know what I'm saying? But we were making people uncomfortable, and we could feel that, like for sure, we could feel that.
So
but
one of the parties, either one of y'all came to, it was another white kid show up, but he was the white kid that wore like the long black trench coats and all that.
He had to go.
No, listen. So
They were like,
Hit that motherfucker.
he worked at Marlin with me, and I invite him to the party. And I told my dad I invite him to the party, and he walked in the party. I wasn't there yet, so my brothers, Ty even called me on the phone, like, and tell them like, hey. This white boy in here told me he knew you. He got such and such. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my dog. Such a he good. This motherfucker all right. I was like, yeah, he good. You sure the man got an I said he good. He was 20 years old. Midnight, he turned 21. My uncles them in the back room with a pool table.
Yeah.
With the football, basketball game,
Yeah.
whatever. Got him fucked up. Moonshot. They got that white boy. And his parents, they were from another city, but his dad was Coast Guard. He was there. His mom dropped him off, and she came to me. When she told me at work, she was like, just make sure he get back, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I believe you me. He's in good hands around my people, especially around the Grants
That
and
ain't
the
no
Dolphins.
shit. That ain't no
He's in
shit.
great hands. He gonna eat good. He gonna drink. He gonna vibe.
Shit, dude.
He might even get him some black pussy tonight. You know what I'm saying? So he's in good hands. But I'm telling you, he went back home lit. And she was like, oh my God, he had the best. Thank you so much. Because he was one of those kids. And see, that's one thing I love about me. That's why I love my situation. I love everything that I went through in life. Because when I see people, they don't have to be gay. The outsiders that's by themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody is talking to. Those are the people that I gravitate to.
Yeah.
Those, because I see young Terrell.
Bro, when
Yeah.
we went to your party, dude, we left your house at like 5:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
When we driving home, the sun was coming
we
up.
was fine.
My
yeah,
wife
yeah.
was worried,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "Nah, dude,
Listen,
we had
good.
the
People
best
don't
fucking
realize
time, dude. We had
that
such
this
a good
is
time."
like a 4,000 square foot house that has different sections of the house.
Yeah.
But
So
in
dope.
the garage now, that's like the family room area is with a DJ and bar.
Yeah.
And there. But in the
Yeah.
kitchen,
Oh,
it's
man. Popping.
Chinese buffet.
That shit
but it's just
popping in
black
the
people
kitchen,
soul
dog.
food.
Oh, it's
It's
so good.
desserts, food, different type of meat.
And what was
Like,
so good about it is like not even just the food, just the energy in the party. Like when we walked in, they wasn't looking at us like the fuck y'all doing. They were like, y'all ain't eat yet? Shit, come on, we
Shout
can
out to
serve you
Mike.
up with
Bruh,
this and
we-
this
shout
and
out-
How
that.
You
many
have to
fucking
know-
times have we partied in our lives and great parties? But that one,
Yeah, that one stands
makes
out,
it-
dude.
But you have to
we
know,
talk about that
stands
shit
out.
all
You
the
have to
time, bro.
know my
It's a great
dad,
time.
You know,
Your
my
dad was
spiritual
your
dad,
dad was a
Terry
good
Grant,
man.
who passed away.
Rest in peace. He was
but
such a good
he
dude.
was like, he was the ultimate Marine. Let me tell you about this guy. This man brought me into his life and his son's life. They were like in their teens, and I think Tahiba was in elementary school. I was close friends with his daughter. This is a Marine.
Right.
Was in the Gulf War that trusted me enough to bring me into his family. But we had that conversation where I'm trusting you around to man, I'm trusting you around my kids. If you do anything to my kids, I will kill you.
Literally.
We had, and people are like, well, how do you feel about that? I love it because I wish somebody protected me like that as a child. I love that would
Yo, that's dope.
gravitated
Preach.
me to him. When I'm telling you, this man had 3-4 Mercedes, Yukon.
Oh,
My
yeah.
first time out of the country is with this man. When I'm telling you, when this man would leave his house, him and his wife would go on vacation or anything, they either take me or they would give me to the keys of the house and make me control of the house. I drive any car. There was nothing. They would trust me with thousands of dollars to make sure I deposit in the bank or go handle this for me and then we'll pay you back.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I have never. He really, him and his wife, Miss Grant, they really shaped my life on how to treat people. Like I always wanted to treat people good because I know how it feels to be mistreated.
Yeah.
But they really shaped my life.
That's
on how
dope.
to
Like the
treat
point I would
people.
make is like the best way to treat people is to trust people.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that means more to people than
But
anything
more
else.
than being trusted me, he was loyal to me. And he
That
felt
too,
I was
that
loyal
too,
to him.
yeah.
Like I remember I'm part of this timeshare, Blue Greens with his family. He put me on the deed
What?
I'm on the deed. You know, I travel a lot.
Yeah.
This man put me on the deed.
It's wild, man.
Like,
Terry was such a good man, dude.
Oh my God! Like he was
such a
like
good
no
man.
other, and I meet his other Marines friends. Like I would.
His sons are cool too, though.
Oh, I
His
love
sons
them.
are
Yeah,
cool
they
too.
get them. They're knuckleheads, but I love them. I
Dude,
would have it no other way.
Them boys treated me with like because I went to the party the year after I left. You know, I just went there by myself.
Yeah.
Just hanging out and shit, and them boys treated me with mad respect, dude. Just like checking in on me. Make sure
Respect
your
is key.
sister
Yeah.
checking in
Oh
on
yeah,
me.
she loved.
She did. Me and
I
her did
got
a
a
little jig
good
on the
question
dance
because I
floor. It
learned
was fun, man.
I learned something from black folks that it's weird because I always like when I go piss or whatever I wash my hands, right? But I learned something from black folks that most white dudes don't wash their hands after they leave the bathroom. So now like I make it a point, even though I
don't
do
wash
it,
my
but I'm
hand every
like,
time I leave the bathroom. It all depends
but
on what the fuck
you
I'm
ever
at.
heard that though?
I heard white
that's
boys
not-
don't wash below their knees.
No, I've heard.
Well,
We
heard that?
don't use washcloths and
Well,
shit.
no,
don't
I've
use
heard that they
washcloths.
don't. A lot of them don't.
I don't
but
use washcloths.
I've heard white boys.
But I heard a black dude
Well-
one time say like these motherfuckers don't ever wash their hands when
I
they leave the
never-
bathroom, and
I
it's
never heard
crazy
that.
when I go to
That's
like
most
a
men.
I guess so, but it's more white men than black. Like most black men wash their fucking hands before they
It all
leave the
depends on
bathroom.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm getting up and puss in the middle of the night, I puss, flush the toilet, and I go back to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, you home. I'm talking about like when you at a sporting event and you go into the bathroom and you piss, and they got the trough fucking washing hands. Like, look, watch.
it depends.
Next time,
As long as they
next
don't have
time
a
you
trough
go,
that you have to piss in,
next
It
time
because
you
I don't
go,
like
bro,
that.
I'll
It
be
depends.
washing my hands. I'll be in the
Listen,
mirror like watching
it
all these whites do
depends.
Judging the
like,
shit out of them.
I'm like all these black dudes is like y'all some nasty
Man to
motherfuckers,
man,
dog.
man to man.
The
Like,
Moors showed us how to fucking wash anyway.
Man to
Oh
man.
my bad, different podcast.
you say the Moors?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Different podcast.
you need to bring my brothers here for the Moors.
Yeah,
Bring my brother Ty. He's more.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
more.
I already said we're mutants from the Caucasus Mountains that have no
So,
redeemable
yeah,
qualities.
if
I
you
say
wanna hear
that
about
every
the
time.
video, talk that. But it all
That's who we
depends
are.
because it's like growing up, they say, "Oh, white people they have dogs in the kitchen," which they do.
My dog
white
sleep in
people
the
smell
bed.
like dog when they get wet,
Yeah, I
which is
heard
not
that.
true. I just heard like
What else?
like,
What else have you heard? What else?
about white people? They
Yeah.
can't cook. They don't season their
Well,
food,
hey, listen,
which is a lie. 'Cause
Can't
my
dance.
It
my
depends on the
homeboy
white people.
Jason Hall.
I don't know, bro.
Bro,
He-
you eat over
Jason-
here,
listen,
dog. We seasoned up, dog.
My homeboy Jason Hall, and like your wife, her dip. I
Hey,
love her.
I'll tell
damn
you,
dip.
my son,
Yeah.
because Mimi, she ain't here. But if you would have met Mimi, so Mimi is my wife's mom. She lived with us, but she's over at the other sisters right now. So, she went to North Charleston High School, and she's 63.
Why?
She's
That's
63
your
years old.
alumni. That's your people,
Yeah,
man.
I say, yeah.
She just
Cougars.
turned.
Right.
She just turned 63 last weekend,
Alright.
and so she was in the first class that got desegregated.
Oh yeah. From Bob Wilson that came over.
Yeah,
Okay,
she was the
yeah.
only white girl on the basketball team. All her girls are black, and
thought you said I was gonna meet her.
she's soul cooking all the time. So
Yeah.
Thanksgiving we had fucking collards, yams, like we got the whole spread. Like ain't no fucking casseroles out this bitch.
I love
It's
green bean
all-
casserole.
Ain't no
now.
raisins in the
Yeah.
potato
Oh,
salad.
yeah.
Whatever.
So, anyways, my son, you just met my son. He's on
yeah,
the basketball.
cutie, I love him. He's such a
He's
sweetheart.
on the basketball team. There's only 3 white boys on his basketball team.
At Cathedral Breeze?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So Thanksgiving they was like, yo, one of the black boys was like, yo, everybody send their plate. Rate the plate. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
for
yeah,
Thanksgiving. So like the first white boy sent his shit. It's got like pineapple on the pineapple ring on the top, some dry ass fucking turkey and shit. Everybody's flaming him in the fucking shit. And then like so after all that, there's like 12 of them on the team. He got third, right? He got 7.8 average, and then 2 black boys obviously went ahead of him, and he was like, but his plate,
Yeah.
hands down, was the best. I was like, son, like you gotta realize, like, ain't no way they about to let a white boy win Thanksgiving. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think
Like,
the last 4 to 5 years, people don't realize this. That for the last 4 to 5 years, I have been spending Thanksgiving with my white friends.
I was
Like,
about to ask you, like,
my
what's
ho-
something good you've learned from white people? Because you've been hanging out with a lot of white people. Like, what's something you've like, whether it's cooking wise or drinking wise or chilling wise? Like, what's something like? Because we always like to talk about bad
just to
shit
be
that.
open.
Yeah.
Live like when I'm with my friend Jason and we all on a boat or we in his backyard on the water or whatever. It's just we're vibing. He's not trying to be something he's not. I'm not trying to be something I'm not.
Yeah,
We talk
no guard
about
up.
there's no guard up.
Yeah.
We talk about finances. We talk about life, marriage, children, yard work. We just talk about any and everything. There's no talking about, and not saying this with black people, but there's no talking about drugs or alcohol and things of that nature. It's just like work wise, what I want to do in 5 or 10 years, or Terrell, have you moved your 401k to this or do this, or Terrell, you need to buy a house, you need to do this and you need to do that, flip the house. I'm like, it's just one income. I'm like, what if the roof? They be like, you ain't gonna stay in the house that long. Buy a house, sell it, cushion the money. I find myself in really great spaces with them. And I enjoy it because it's like, growing up, I grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
So when I started hanging around majority white people, I would have to say is working at Marlin when I got my promotion. And where they will wear, I got white friends that are millionaires that will have on a $1 t-shirt, the same khaki short pants and flip-flops, and they got 3 or 4. Their parents had 3 and 4 beach houses.
Yeah.
When I used to hang around them, I would wear my cowboy boots, my jean, my diamond bracelets, ring, nice, smelling good, whatever. That whole shit dropped. Yeah. Where I no longer became materialistic.
Let your guard down, man.
Because when you grow up, I used to be one of those people acting like a nigga who ain't never had shit. Because I was materialistic. Because I remember one time I had about 80 pairs of jeans.
Yeah.
Because I remember growing up when I didn't have jeans.
When you had one pair.
Yeah, I didn't have
2 pair. One for school.
I wore short pants in the wintertime because I didn't have long pants. Well, my parents were going through a divorce.
2 tank tops in the winter.
2 tank tops in the winter, baby.
Me and my brother was living
Theo.
in an abandoned house with my father. And my mom was away getting her life together. So when I started making money, all I did was buy jeans and stuff like that. And when I started hanging around like my friends and stuff like that, where it's like they always clean, they always fresh, they always fly. But all that materialistic stuff, they putting money into their house.
Yeah,
they putting money into their 401k, which I'm really good at. They put money into the Roth account. They put money into buying boats. Mm-hmm. My homeboy Jason, since I've known him for the last 4, 5, 6 years, this man has had 40 boats. He'll buy a boat, fix it up, and sell it and make a profit. And continue to do it. Every time I'm on this man will call me every day to go on the boat, and I have to stop. I'm like, listen, man, I got other things. I don't want to go on the boat every day. I know it's Charleston. I love you, but all he want to do is good vibes. He's like, hell yeah. I'm older than him, but I look up to him in a lot of ways.
What's up?
I would say I know that the word privilege gets thrown around a lot, but I've noticed because you're talking about good thing about your white friends or that you've learned from white folks is taking your guard down and being able to have real conversations and not being. But I think that a thing about what I've noticed with all my black friends is they've grown up having to have their guard up. It's like a necessity.
People don't understand what it is to be black in America.
Right.
And don't get me wrong.
Because they haven't been around.
I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but then you have issues in America.
But I think it's hard for hard for black folks to take their guard down, especially with white folks, because what look at the fucking history.
I'm gonna be honest with you. They said with the presidential race. One thing I would tell all white people: get you a black barber. Not discredit white barbers. Keep your white barbers, but every now and then go to a black barber shop and listen to our conversations.
Yeah,
bro.
Because
I do.
This
is a barber shop.
My dad Terry, my spiritual dad Terry, he owns a barber shop.
Yeah.
He's and it's crazy because some of the best conversations I've ever had has been not with my homegirls or out on the boat, whatever. It's really in that black barbershop.
Yeah.
And it's like food. It's like the black man food to his soul being in that barbershop because we talk about everything. We talk about presidential race. And,
well, that's why Killer Mike started the barbershop.
Well, they think, you hear a lot of people they ask how come so much black men can vote for, Donald Trump besides Joe Biden, whatever. Because, they were like, well, and I told Salas, I'm like, well, we think all white people are racist. So which one you gonna get? The white man that you got to struggle for, or the white man who gonna put the extra couple $100, which is Donald Trump, in your pocket? They might all white people are racist.
Or you gonna have the one that's like putting on a fucking dashiki and pretending he's fucking
Do I think all white people are racist? I know all white people ain't racist. You know, same way I know all black people aren't racist, or blah blah.
That's a little cliche. I think we all racist.
But I think racist is the wrong word to use. I think prejudice is the better word.
Prejudice is one word. This is how I look at racism.
Yeah.
If I don't like you because you ain't white, I might stay away from you. I might not speak to you. I'm not going to disrespect you or whatever.
You're right.
If I come up to you,
I guess
you fucking cracker. I hate you. You stole my family, and I try to fight. To me, that's racism. But if I don't want to deal with you or stay away, that's my right.
Yeah,
that's not racism.
Right.
I just don't want. Prejudice. I just don't want to fuck with you, and everybody have that right. You know, same way I got a lot of. You know, it's so funny because I was sitting in the car with my homegirl one time, and this guy got in the car with us, and he said, "Good evening." And everybody said, "Good evening." And he looked at me. He said, "Oh, I wasn't speaking to you. I was speaking to them."
That's fucked up.
Lie to you not.
I guess
but I wasn't upset because I went back and, you know, I would tell anybody, white, black, gay, straight, trans, anybody going through discrimination, please always remember this. You never look at the words. You always look at the person. My 12th grade teacher, when I was fighting in that school, my 12th grade Algebra 2, Miss Archambault at North Charleston High School, she pulled me out the classroom. She said, if you're going to be gay, let me explain something to you. You're going to have people discriminate and hate you all your life. A white woman. She said, you never look at the words. You always look at the person. And ever since that day, everybody that has been hateful towards me, whatever, when I look at them, they have been beneath me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even, they were beneath me or anybody that I would even associate with. So it make it so easy for me to laugh at when people like be mean to me because I'm gay or they just don't like me and they don't know me. It's so easy because I think about Miss and I look at them and I'm critiquing them from head to toe and just looking at them. Like you don't even brush your teeth. You don't take care of yourself.
You ain't wash your hands.
Snapping that neck at me,
your nails dirty. And I'm not telling them this, but in my mind, I'm just reading them. You can't read it right. You ain't got no education. First of all, he was a drug dealer. Negro. All right. Okay. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, true.
Well, we've kind of said that something to that same sentiment on this podcast before, and I really believe it's true. It's like people will forget what you said, they'll forget how you said it, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
Yep.
Yeah, but he didn't make me feel bad. It didn't make me feel bad.
But it made you feel enough to remember it.
Yeah, because those are life lessons.
That's what I'm saying.
When I told y'all, like, y'all
Mary,
like, wow.
Mary had a camel toe.
I can't believe y'all were like, wow, I can't believe he said Everybody in the car, he was like, yeah, I'm not talking to you. Everyone's like, what the fuck?
Well, I was gonna walk back. Like, I don't think everybody's like racist or prejudiced. I just think people have a natural predisposition to be tribal, to connect and click up with people that are either A, like-minded or like-colored.
It's 365 damn days in a year. You can do that 300 days or 360 days. Those 5 days, get your ass around some people
That's what I was about to say. You're
black people. Get you some white friends.
Speaking what I'm about to say.
Get you some Jewish friends. Get you some Asian friends.
And that's
get
what
you
I'm saying.
Some whatever type of friend that is so different from you.
Like, get out of your comfort zone.
You got to.
Because that's what we just said last week. Like, I would rather be around a motherfucker that isn't I can't stand being around motherfuckers that think just like me. Bunch of yes men, like an echo chamber. Like, I can't stand that shit.
My cousin had a friend
like
that.
They always say, don't be the smartest person in the fucking room. I don't think that means like literally don't be the smartest person in the room. It just means like don't be don't be just like everything else in the room is how I look at it more. Like, I'd rather be around like
I can't be so different
like,
than these white people in the room. Like, if I could critique all of y'all, I am so different than all of y'all. I am just so different. But we connect so well. I mean, me and Sal are friends.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
don't
I'm
agree
telling
on
you,
anything.
Yeah. Well, we
Ariana
agree
Grande
that-
is a better singer than Whitney Houston. I said it.
Yeah.
Quote it.
Well, that's the white in him, and I understand that. I love him, and I respect
Can't
that.
give it to a black person.
We, we will agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Fuck that.
argue with it.
We
You know
just
what I'm
had
saying?
we just
Me
had
and
this
him don't
conversation.
agree on shit
Yeah,
either, but fuck
Whitney
it.
Houston had 7
Yeah.
consecutive #1 hits when she first came out.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston, they will never be a national anthem.
It's
because
because they were tired of giving it to white people, though. She just got that. She got the fucking.
Probably rightfully.
She got some
rightfully
pity
so.
vote.
You know, every now and then.
Why are you calling her white? She's Spanish.
You
man. We
remember
gotta take
like
it
3
from-
years
take
ago
it
they
from
was
the
like
Hispanic.
Grammy
Who's
so
white?
white, and
I
now
mean, I got
you
it.
remember like 5 years ago they was like Grammy so white,
Yeah.
and now there ain't been a white person get a Grammy in like 5 years.
That's a lie. Taylor Swift won all the Grammys. Adele won all the Grammys. Beyonce just so popular that Beyonce go no
all
matter
I know
what, she
is
gonna always
Andre
win.
3000 about to get a Grammy for a whack ass flute album, man. We were like,
The album?
yeah.
Flute album, dude. Plays a flute.
album.
First of all,
I
they
didn't
dropped
know
it and
that.
it was like, yo, Andre about to drop an album. And me and him was like, I texted him. I was like, Andre
How is
about
it?
The next day, they were like,
Okay.
it's dope, but it's fucking literally him playing the flute and like rain sticks.
But then you gotta understand their artistry. Like
I
Beyonce
do.
was like,
I can
Beyonce
appreciate
was like
it, but it's
pop,
just
pop
like,
at one time.
yeah,
Then she
yeah.
went into the whole like African.
I don't know. When you
things
see
and
the shit
whatever.
Lauren Hill doing, like fuck that
You know
bullshit.
what,
You can't get behind that shit. Be
No,
real.
hold on. Let me hold on. Let me
We
speak
about
on
to
it.
find out if this motherfucker is real
Let me
or if
speak
he
on
gonna
it.
stick to the
Let me
blackness
speak-
right now.
Let me speak on
All
it.
right.
Let me speak on it. You know, I've seen Beyonce about 10 times in concert, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people come to see you, don't get me wrong. People are like, well, Beyonce concert is supposed to start at 8 o'clock. Well, she don't get on stage till 9. There's a difference because Beyonce is in the arena with 70, 80,000 people trying to get in. You got traffic and everything. You know, if Beyonce starts the concert at 8 o'clock, the arena's half filled because people still trying to, you got to walk out, whatever. Once the stadium gets filled, she comes out just like
Who
that.
opens for her?
No one. She opens and closes herself.
Yeah, but not just that. Beyonce
Is one of one. She's
Beyonce
the only
has a
one.
team of 600 people putting that show together. Lauren Hill has a fucking DJ
I
and a
understand,
band.
yeah.
Like,
But then you understand, it's about.
I can
it's
understand
about
if
where you're-
Beyonce's late.
it's
They're
a-
like the fucking
about where you're
the
at.
pyrotechnics ran out of
It's
gas,
about where you're at
motherfucker.
mentally.
You know what
It's
I'm
about
saying?
where you're at mentally.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's about where you're at
I
mentally.
love Lauryn Hill, but
and
I'm not-
saying about,
I'm not
and,
hating, but-
like I wouldn't per se. I would not. Lauryn Hill is one of those people where I will listen to her CD over and over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
But I refuse to see her in concert.
Yeah.
And there are other artists that I wouldn't name that
All right.
I will listen to
You
their
passed
CD.
the test.
I would listen to their CD all the times, but I would not go to one of their concerts.
Oh yeah, like Jack Harlow. Man,
not
come
saying-
out
I
of a
love-
fucking igloo and
You know
shit.
what?
Oh, sixth grade. The boy said that shit like a
Hey.
sixth grade
Like
play
a
set.
paper mache and shit.
Hey, shout out to Jack.
Hey.
Jack got swag.
Jack's
I'm
that
vanilla,
shit.
baby.
Shout out to
Killing
Jack.
it.
I choke
can't
you,
listen.
but I ain't no killer,
I
baby.
I can show you my phone right now. I bought that album. I'm a support Jack.
Word.
I don't know what it is about Jack, but I love Jack. And it's even before he started working with Lil Nas X that he accepted our community. But I love.
You notice what he did in that music video, though, right?
What?
He made sure to have like the female guard on him.
Well, then he did say
Dance
that
on him and
if
shit.
Lil Nas X wanted to dance with him, he would have let him dance with
Did
him. He said that, yeah. But the thing. See, that's the thing. Living in this lifestyle, the men like that are the straightest guys that you will ever meet. It's the ones be like, fuck them faggots. I would never do that. Sometimes they kiss you like you their wife.
Yeah.
They trying to suck your dick.
The ones that are just like, oh, I'm a
They're the ones who
Boys
act
on the
like
low.
that. Yeah.
Hey, when we get
Yes.
off this pod, tell my wife that, cause she be like, "Why you want to wear pink and why you want to listen to
Real
fucking
men wear
Halsey and
pink.
shit?
Real men-
Why
listen.
you want to listen to Halsey and shit?
Halsey the shit.
Cause
Halsey is the shit.
Tell me how it feel looking out there. All right, last question. So usually I ask people what
Last question. We ain't done yet.
Yeah. We getting done. We getting close.
Chapter 2
we're
coming
edging. We're edging. No, but for real, like we always ask people like what their guilty pleasure is, and when we ask straight men that, it's like, what's your gay pleasure? Basically, we say guilty pleasure, but so what's the opposite for you? Since you gay, what's your like your guilty pleasure? Like some hard shit you listen to, like motherfucking. Because we know you like
It's up to
Beyonce, Taylor
maintain
Swift.
your soldier life mentality. If it be a tragedy, the white man come and harass me, slam me down and harass me, just to put on handcuffs and stop calling me with resistance. When he told me throw my hands out, Soldier Slim.
Soldier
Slim.
Shout out Noria.
That's my. And don't get me wrong, I grew up in an era with No Limit. And
the greatest era ever.
Gangsta Boys, NWA, all that. I just love Tupac, Biggie.
I fuck with Soulja Slim.
My hardcore like rap. It has to be Soulja Slim. It's on to maintain
slow motion
Soulja like it. Yeah, but Soulja, or I'll pay for it because I will.
Yeah, I pay.
Lil Wayne say,
I pay.
Lil Wayne say, ain't tricking if you got it, and I got it. I got it. Yeah, they need to legalize prostitution because if we legalize prostitution, a lot of people will be less stressed.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation, but I think we should legalize every fucking thing.
No, not everything. Not drugs.
Yeah,
not drugs.
Why not?
We can't have people walking around here like zombies.
They already are. What the fuck you talking about? Like,
and we restrict them. We put them in the home and get some.
Well, I'm just saying, like, then we gotta outlaw alcohol. Then
no,
alcohol's the worst drug.
No, it's not.
What's worse?
Look at me. I've never smoked marijuana. No? Never did a pill. Never did crack.
Man,
never
you
did
ain't had
pills.
pussy, weed, nothing.
You
really missing out, man.
That's why he ain't say Master P.
I'm a leprechaun.
You're a unicorn.
Yeah. I'm a human gummy bear.
No pussy, no weed. Damn.
Maybe one day, maybe when I'm 100 years old, before I hit the clock, then I can go to God. You know what I'm saying? God, I told
that'll
you.
Probably take,
change.
That'll probably
right. Because I got a lot of explaining to do when I get to them gates. I'll be like, all right, y'all say don't judge me. You seem like y'all judging me.
Shit.
Y'all put me in this
Not
world.
judging, just like, damn, like, just like looking
but
out.
But am I missing something really?
Yes.
Like,
dog, you know what?
masturbation feels good.
Touche.
Yeah.
Word.
And even when you have, think about it. You know how strong masturbation is. Even when you have pussy right next to you, you still masturbate.
Hey, you know how you was talking about like white people?
Exactly.
You know how you was talking about like we be like guard down type shit. So I'm gonna be real with you for a second, like, cause we talked about Elton John before the podcast. We ain't talked about him on the podcast. Okay. But you ever seen that movie Rocket Man?
No.
The newer movie?
No.
You ain't seen it?
Yeah, I'm an Elton John Lion King fan.
The movies, you don't realize how many hits he has.
You would like the movie.
No, I know he got hits, but I'm like Circle of Life.
Dude, I know what you about to say.
Can you feel the love tonight?
I know what you about to say. Shit fucked me up.
Anyways, I didn't know that gay people do that shit missionary until I saw that movie.
Do what?
Have sex.
I mean, you can go in any position you want.
I thought all gay dudes did it doggy style, dude.
Yeah, I thought it was
so
just
racist.
exactly.
Everything is
like
racist.
I'm just being
Why
honest
look at
with
me
you.
when you say that shit,
I'm being
man?
honest on
with
my
you.
nerve. You should know
Get
that.
the fuck out of here.
You've been around me too long.
I wish we did. Like me and him even talked about it. Like I called him up after I watched this movie because they in the movie like they're sitting there, they're making out, they're fucking. I'm just like, bruh,
fuck me up.
I didn't know that.
I looked at Christina's like, damn, I didn't know they did it like that.
I didn't even know it was
makes sense though.
It does.
It makes sense, but it's just
that's how
fucking
ignorant we were.
You could do
and we got gay
the
friends.
cowgirl, the reverse cowgirl, missionary, ass up.
Well,
face
yeah. After
down,
I watched the movie, I was
doggy
like, yo,
style,
I mean, you
side
can do
to
it any way
side.
you want. That's fucked up.
Well, I'm a virgin. I'm waiting to get married. So.
Yeah, I would too. Me too.
I'm
married. I'm still a virgin. Well, since I've been married, I'm a virgin. Because we don't have sex no more.
He's on that 40 days, 40 nights thing.
See, I don't get that though. I don't know.
Nah,
like, see, as a
around.
man, I still need it. Like, I
Yeah.
can masturbate 4 or 5 times a day. Like, as a man, I'm
man,
a still
I
need
slowed
that
down
at
in my
least.
older age.
Well, I'm 40. I'll be 42 in December, so
I'm not
damn.
far behind you, but I just slowed down.
Damn, you look younger than us and shit.
Yeah, I got a lot of young boys in there.
Hot damn. Well, hey, shout out our cameraman, Foolish.
Welcome
behind
back,
the camera.
baby.
He back, he
Welcome
back.
back, baby.
Fresh off the flu
So
game. This is the flu
professional,
game
man.
right now. This is
He
the flu game.
He does his job very well.
Yeah, he
I've
does.
been watching him the whole night.
He's on it, bro.
Shit.
Yeah, he's
You
been-
don't know.
he's-
man.
and he got-
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his swag together.
Yeah,
He quiet,
yeah.
taking his pictures.
He's
you
like,
know?
take
Yeah,
it
in and
easy.
out. And he's-
Don't flatter him too
And
much.
his wife said he liked to eat it from the back too. So here, you know what I'm saying? My man is a fucking G dog.
He's the sniper in the group because he moves and you don't hear him. He's moving around and I'm like, I'm not hearing nothing. He's like the sniper. Shout out to his wife though.
Yeah.
Lucky
Hey,
lady.
shout out Auntie T. Y'all heard about it on the fucking pod. We
Auntie
talking.
T?
We had
we call you Auntie
That's what we
Terrell
call
and
it.
thing,
That's what we
no.
call you.
No.
What you want? You Auntie T.
You
That's
call me
it.
Banonsense.
But nonsense.
I come in with all that
We got
banonsense.
bad nonsense, but nonsense. But hey, think harder, work smarter. If you want it to grow, just add water. Terrell, Cousin Sal,
Hey.
Water Boy. It's the Water Pop. Peace.
We out.